Orwellian bloody existence is bloody awful. I don't want it. I prefer to bloody die. If I have to die with this cause, I bloody will. I tell you. And
I've got grandchildren, Gary.
Well, you have got grandchildren already. So what kind of world do you want them to come into? You know what I mean? Because I don't want all my nephews and nieces. And I probably have got grandchildren because I know I've got bloody kids I don't know about. They're probably sort of like in their 30s now, maybe even 40s. The thing is, I don't want anyone I know. I don't want anybody I know, even people that ain't awakened. I don't, because we know what's going on. They don't. It's not their fault. Listen, bless them. A lot of people they don't realise what actually is going on. So you got to give them a little bit of slack, like. But the thing is, we know what's going on, and I don't want this to happen. I'm quite prepared, and I really mean this. I'm quite prepared to die with a cause. I don't give a shit. I really don't. Because I don't want, I'm lucky to still be here at 60, so that's why I don't, people have said to me, like, are you worried for your own welfare? I bloody ain't. I don't care. If they come round to me and try to inject me, Karen, right, they'll have to come in with all guns blazing, because I ain't going, I won't be
What do you make of the whole, they want to test the whole of Liverpool?
Yeah, that's right. I sort of like got that on Facebook or something. The whole of Liverpool, they want to get tested, don't they?
Mm. Hey, did you also? I don't think I sent it to you, but the Queen is abdicating next year. Well, she's not abdicating. She'll still be Queen, but I think Prince Charles might be Prince Regent. I'm not sure, but it looks like she might abdicate, or Prince Charles is coming in.
See, you know something? To me, Karen, right? All that is all bollocks anyway, because
they're not real.
In God's world, everyone's equal. They're not real. They're not real. Everyone's equal. This is why when I had discussions with people, and they turn around and say to me, "Oh, Gal, what about the gold standard? Or what about this?" And I'll turn around and say, "No, I'll say nothing, because in God's world, how God originally intended it, this place to be, is for everyone sharing everything equally and having no one over anyone else. So for me, it's all bollocks anyway." And I'll tell them that. I'll turn around and say no. I'll say, look, you believe that, and that is why a lot of troopers, like, even a lot from over the States and all that, they say, "Oh, we're going back to the gold standard and all that." Once you've got any monetary system, you can have an hierarchy. And this digital system coming in. The thing is, listen, this has been planned for years. What's going on at the moment, like, this has been planned for decades, if not like millennium. What's going on at the moment, and we know that, but the thing is, most people don't, and they just go along with it. They ain't got a Scooby. Most people ain't got a Scooby. I mean, the thing is, I speak to some people now, Karen, like, and I think to myself, my God, people that I knew as mates when I was young. I'll see my mate like the other day, like, he was in Watford. I went over to see him, and he ain't got a clue. I sent him a couple of videos, and he said, "Hey, go, you got to phone me." I phoned him and said, "What's all this rubbish you're telling me about? There's a deadly virus out there, blah, 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 this, that and the other, it's killing people." And I said, "Nick, last year 50,000 people died of the bloody flu." I said, "People die every year." I said, "They're just
not just that, it's heart attacks and strokes and complications from those things, and natural deaths.
Everything. Well, Bobby Ball died the other day, didn't he? Like, and they said it was coronavirus, but if it was anything like Eddie Large, they just said that in the paper. I'd like to know what his family are saying about that, because as well as I do, if people have got a low immunity, coronavirus is part of the common cold. Anyone's going to test positive. Anybody, and like. Oh, it's just absolutely ridiculous.
I know, you want to scream, don't you?
You know, Karen, that's what I really want to do sometimes. I really want to. I was with my mate Nick the other day, and then he's saying to me, "Oh, girl, because he's thinking, oh, you changed." But he knew, like, back in the 80s, like, I was into conspiracies, like, I knew the moon landings were an hoax and all that. I would actually go to the top of Primrose Hill, like, and just scream my head off, because we know we're right. This is what annoys me. What annoys me, we know we're right. We know. It's not sort of like 50-50. We know we're right about this, because me and you see it straight away. We see it from the very first day, as other people did. As my old mate Harry McDonald, he see it from the first day. Vertex see it from the first day, because when I see him down down Speaker's Corner. He said to me, "Gal, what do you think about all this?" You know, straight away, people that are the older generation as well. Now the good thing is having people in the younger generation like a cheater like Nanette, but she's in a minority, Karen. Most of the people just believe in the rhetoric. They watch the news every day. I mean, my family, I feel like I'm getting more distant by the day to them. I'm getting, more distant by the day, and I feel like I'm speaking to.
Not being horrible. It's not that easy to be around them, is it? You stay away from them because you believe in such different things. Hard.
Well, when my sister phones me up, Karen, she says to me, "Oh, stay safe." And I said to her, like, "Oh, when I was going to Corfu and all that," she said, "Oh my God," she said, "I'm so worried about you, girl. Keep away from people, stay safe from one another." And the trouble is, Karen, I can't talk to her. I cannot, especially she works in a care community. She gets a PCR test every week. She has to for her job. And she's also had antibody tests and all that. She's been negative so far. Well, the thing is, she's not the fittest woman that God ever made. Now, look at her. She gets negative tests, and then someone like Cristiano Ronaldo, as a footballer, gets a positive test. That's telling me that it's completely all bollocks. I mean, we know it. We know it is. But the thing is, it's trying to. We can see it as clear as day. You know what? I was watching your show the other day with that guy from China. You know something? What he was saying is right. It's amazing. We can see it so clearly, and it's like we live it. There's two different kinds of people. Like there's Adam and Eve people, and there's us, because these people, Karen, really can't see it.
Hey, Gary, he asked me to marry him afterwards.
Do you know something?
Gary, did you hear that? Gary, he asked me to marry him after that hangout.
You know why, Karen? Because it's like me now. There's no way on God's green earth. Now the thing is, there's no way on God's green earth I could ever go with somebody, even as a girlfriend, that isn't necessarily, maybe not necessarily as awake as what I am, but awake to a certain degree. And like I said to you, I wish I was like 30 years younger. I really like Ashita, because for a young girl, she's absolutely like, she's not only stunning to look at and whatever, she's a woke. But you know something? A lot of what he said, like, I was actually glued. It's very rare now, because I think I've heard it all, that I'm actually glued to hearing what someone said. But that bloke from China, I was glued. When I was listening to that earlier, Karen, I was glued to what he was saying, because my God, that bloke bloody nailed it. He absolutely nailed it. I know it's meant to be about the Mandela effect, like, but he strayed on to other subjects. But my God, he was brilliant. He really was. I hope you have him on again.
I've married him now, Gary.
Is that the one you told me you married?
Yes.
Well, you know something, you got to, Karen, because I couldn't marry someone now. I could not marry someone, right, who wasn't at least a sort of like, say, half a degree. I'm sort of 50% of how I'm awake, because it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work, because you got marriages, you got marriages that are like that. I mean, there's I'm trying to think who it was. There's someone in the States that is really awoke, and like her husband, it completely denies it. And now it's causing a rift in their marriage. Because the thing is, it's easy to cause a rift in a marriage anyway, isn't it? But something like this, I think, would be...
But you know what? We've talked about this before. It's like we have different letters on our heads, and we talk different languages. And the moment you try and talk to them, they just don't hear you. That's it. They're mad.
If you heard what I said last night, it's almost like they have a glazed look about them. They have a glazed look about them, and they just can't bloody hear it. They literally, I've spoken to people before, Karen, right, about some of the stuff we talk about, that I can talk to you freely. I mean, if I turned around to most of my mates and turned around and said, "Oh, I read number plates," I'm sure, like, after the heart attack I did in 1992, God put this in me, whereby I sort of like look at a number plate and I sort of like, I read things out of it. If I said to most of my mates, they'd phone up my sister and say, because it has happened. No, it's happened anyway. It's happened.
It's horrible, because they try to tell you there's something wrong with you, but there's actually... Also, they try and tell you there's something wrong with you, but there isn't. There's something wrong with them.
Well, you know something, Karen, what I used to say to people like down at Speaker's Corner, the thing is, you know what you get as it is. People say to me, oh, you're mad, mate. But even believing we live sort of like on a stationary sort of like plane, sort of like all the planets and everything going around us, like the sun going around us. And I said, I'm mad. You think we're spinning like around the equator, like sort of like over 1,000 miles an hour?
But it's worse than that, Gary, because we're going in three different directions, right? One anti-clockwise with the moon, doing the 1,000 miles an hour at the equator. The other two are with the sun and the universe, and that adds up to Mach 80. And they think I'm mad.
So, that's what I said to him. I said, I'll come out of all this, and I'll tell him, and I said, I think Jason was right next to me. I said this, but I said, you think I'm mad? And Jason was laughing his head off. I said, I'm the one that's mad, like, and you think this is all this is happening? And he got the same glazed look over their head, because there's something sometimes, the penny drops, and they think to themselves, bloody hell. You know, they think you're mad. They think you're mad, and you give them sort of like what they believe is true. And you think, and you're saying I'm mad, mate. You know.
No, Gary, you're lovely. Gary, you're lovely.
I was going to say, have a look in your mirror when you get home, sunshine, and then have a reality check. Who's the mad one out of the pair of us? You know.
I think you're right, though. I think you said it last night in the hangout, which is going on in an hour and 3/4. But you said that people who are awake now. But we're probably.
I don't think you're going to get anyone. Listen. There's a lot of people in our community that would differ in my opinion. But I've been saying this for the last 2 or 3 years, getting freezing cold and soaking wet at Speaker's Corner. The people who are going to get it are going to get it, and the ones that ain't, and that is, it ain't going to change.
Do you think they're like what Nigel said? He said that they're the Adam and Eve lot, and we're not. The empaths are much more awake and stuff, and those that are awake.
We know something. You said something that resonated with me. It's like I actually feel other people's pain and distress. It's like,
me too.
It's like, you know, I could never sort of like walk down the road. If I walked out of here now and I went to get my bus right, and I see sort of like someone walk across the road and they got run over, I couldn't just desert them. But this has been a lifelong thing with me. I remember once when sort of like a little boy got run over. He was on a stupid little electric scooter, and you know, people were just coming along, and I parked my bike in the middle of the road. I was still running motorbikes at the time. It was after my accident, and I parked in the middle of the road. And you get other people just looking, and it happened to me again in Richmond. I remember about 25 years ago, a little girl got the road, and a car ran her over, and she had blood coming out of her ears, and people were just looking at her. Well, I took my motorcycle jacket off, put it over her to keep her warm. And like, you know, I mean, someone told me it was like, you know, blood comes out of the ears. If it's not death, it's going to be like they're going to have brain damage or whatever. But because at both her ears, like blood was coming out. But most people just thought we passed like nothing's happening. And you know, saying, Karen, I could never be like that. I could never.
Yeah, but that's because you're a nice person, Gary.
I cannot walk away. Karen. It's like I told you the time when I was on a tube train, like, and I see a woman get a load of verbal, like, and I said to my mate, I said, like, that could be our sister. And we threw the bloke off the train. The thing is with me, Karen, I have to live with my conscience. And I know what I'm capable of, and you know, I've been an hard man. I've worked on doors and whatever, but I'm also like a fair man. I will not cause trouble unless it comes to me. But I will not walk away from someone in need, because you know why? I think this is a testing ground, and the big man up there watches this, and I think this is being dead. This is dead. This is dead down here. You're alive when you go up there. And the thing is, people like George Bush Senior and Tony Blair, and people like that, they got to answer for their crimes up there. Whereas this is
hopefully that Irish woman's got it right, and they're all going to prison soon.
Well, I bloody hope so. I'll tell you what. Nothing would make me happier. Nothing would make me happier.
Can I just say, Gary, can I say something? I was really bad. You were talking away. I actually taped a bit of it because it was good. I was making a video, and I'm putting up the headlines. You see, I'm not interested in these headlines. It all just shows me what a load of rubbish it is. But day in, day out, these headlines come in, always telling you lies. So I needed some video to go over it, but you were talking, so I videoed
I
it.
don't mind. The thing is, you know what I'm like, Karen, it just comes out of my head and it comes out.
I know, because you're an honest person, Gary.
People don't like the truth being spoken, and I'll speak the truth. At the end of the day, I don't give a shit. And you know something? I was the other day, I said, if someone never knocks at my door and turns around and says to me, "Oh, we've come to get your vaccine," I'll say I'll wear a vaccine on 2 conditions. One of them, I want to see all the ingredients and get them all tested. And the second one, I'll have an arm wrestle with Tony Blair. By the way, you want to tell Tony Blair that in 1983, I beat the arm wrestling champion of Clerkenwell that he didn't like because he'd been champion for about 20-30 years. I said, if you can fill that 2 criteria, I'll have my vaccine. But I know it ain't gonna happen, Karen.
No, you don't want the vaccine anyway.
It never happened. They'll have to do it. They'll have to do it to me over my dead body. If they come into my flat and knock me out and give it to me, that's fine. But until then, it's never ever going to happen. Not on my dead body. Like I said, I would do everything in my power beforehand, even before me going and sort of like living over in Portugal, like with Cat, if that's possible. If I have to move out of where I'm living now, I'll become a Jehovah's Witness, I'll become a Seventh-day Adventist, I'll do anything I have to do. Anything I have to do apart from it. But you know something? You know as well as I do, people are going to line up for it. When it comes out, they're going to be lining up round the bloody block. And you know something? It's great to hear other people, because that Nigel bloke, he had a different view of it, because I couldn't work out why people really can't see what we see. And the way he explained it was bloody brilliant. It's like they're not us. It's not, they're not...
Yeah, they're never ever going to get it. But it's really weird. I tried to ask him, because, you know, my mum and dad are them. I've got children like him. So how come I got born to one of them? Or why was I born when they are who they are?
I want you to have another hang out with that bloke, because
I am.
It's the first time for a long time I was glued to the screen. I was actually up Sainsbury's like listening to it, and I couldn't get away, because I thought, sometimes even though the way my brain works, like having Asperger's, I sort of like put pieces together. It works differently like than the average Joe, and I have to put pieces together, and it has to work like a jigsaw puzzle. And I thought, hang on a minute, I've got that part's missing. That part's missing over there. That part's missing over there.
Well, it's called the Devil's Playground. The Devil's Playground, yeah.
And what he was saying, started to fill in the bits I had missing. That jigsaw puzzle, I thought, bloody hell, that answers it. Bang, that little bit's gone in. And he said that, bang. Like, basically, we've gone off on a different timeline, so we're with people that really ain't like us. That is why, when you sort of like speak to them about any of this stuff we're talking about, the reason they can't see it is because they can't see it. It's not part of the original thought. It doesn't matter what you say to them. It doesn't matter what you say to them. It's not part of the original thought.
Well, I've done this little video now, so I'll send it to him, and he can hear that you resonated with him.
Okay, yeah, because I overuse it as well, because I thought he takes some, like I said, some of like the jigsaw pieces. And you know something, I'm sure God does this to me, because he knows I get stressed out, because I think, hang on a minute, this part of the puzzle's missing, that part of the puzzle's missing, and I actually get more sort of like satisfaction out of that than someone sort of like looking at my
a lot more people are watching his video now. But listen, for this video, I'm going to stop the video. Gary, thanks for not knowing that I was recording you. I'm just going to stop the video. Mwah, Gary. Right. And the Devil's Playground, who's my husband now. Anyway.
Yeah, I know. You know something? We've got to tell him he's a wonderful guy, and I can't wait to hear the next one, because he was filling all the spaces that I wanted.
Oh, Gary!
I had parts missing. He's filled them up, so I want him on again very soon.
He will be. Don't worry. I was speaking to him today. Right. But anyway, just for this record, I'm just stopping the recording.
Okay.